Hello everybody, welcome to Nego Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? I hope everybody's having a great morning, smooth and calm and peaceful. I just love the whole premise of finding and merging into that flow state where you feel as peaceful as possible, which brings us to the Yule Singer rebirth, feasting, and joy. We really do have a big celebratory season that's showing up for us very soon in the US. We have Thanksgiving. We just had Halloween, which was wonderful. Funnily enough, I put out 3 bins of candy, and they were pretty good size, all mixed up. And I was so happy. Well, part of the reason is we have a difficult door. We'd have to take the top part out and reach out and lean over with the cats. And lots of times people bring their dogs and they walk their dogs. So I left little envelopes of dog bones in in the 4th bin. And happy to say that when I went out, there was only 2 little paydays left. So obviously there was a good flow of traffic through there. It was really nice. But also Christmas, all of this Yule season. And I feel that any day or any moment that we want, we can experience a rebirth. Case in point, I was running around a lot today. A lot of driving, a lot of clients, a lot of stuff. I was almost losing my voice. I got to a point where it was like, I bandwidth done, could do nothing else. And I just heard from my guides and my inner self, my intuition, listen, do not do anything else right now but rest. When you got home, don't try to do one damn thing for anybody. Just go rest, and then you'll be able to, have this rebirth. And honest to goodness, when I woke up, I had a little bit of chicken broth. I love chicken soup, and I felt immediately better. So whenever you recognize that you're not feeling great, it's there's so much power that's unlocked in the absence of plans, right? And letting myself know that I wasn't going to do anything else this evening unless I wanted to, all of a sudden made me feel better and more sprightly. When you feel hey, I have free reign, all of a sudden it loosens everything. You feel loose and you feel free. So then you feel happy to commence with tasks because they're not pressing or daunting, or you don't feel they're obligatory, you have to, so it's restful. So what are your good and happy thoughts about this holiday season? Because I know, like me, if you have walked into any home goods or place like that, you can't move for Santa Claus's elves, reindeers, sparkly things, snow globes, everything fun, and everything looks crisp and white and green and red and happy and jolly. It's that energy. Let's get revved up for the season. I even said to myself yesterday on Halloween, I wanted to go get some special things, and I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. And then I was like, if not now, then when? This is the day. You got to go walking on the forest and the beach and gather little things for your spell jar and be happy and have wonderful conversations with people outside and, embrace it. See it as an adventure, as opposed to, a task or something of that. I feel when we look forward to something, we give ourselves something beautiful and warm and welcoming and friendly to look forward to. It's it puts something in our mindscape that we look forward to, and it brings us vitality. It brings us happiness. It brings this good energy that washes over us. So that brings us to Saturn. In truth, funnily enough, it's this is really building rest into the foundation of the scaffolding of our life. We really need to do this and normalize things. Normalize not knowing always what you feel or what to do. Normalize changing your mind and uncertainty and growth and things, being homemade and home brewed and, walking in nature and coming to terms with things so you can find your truth. Because Saturn is a tough planet. It's a hard-edged planet of tough love. This is about where you experience some sort of possible oppression, and take a look at what the defining features are. And are you really trapped in something in a relationship, or the parameters of that relationship, in a job? For me, this is more about in a position that you've placed yourself in, a friendship, relationship, or family. So just say that there are certain inadequacies in communication with somebody, husband, mother, doesn't matter who. We can change those dynamics, but we have to take a hard truth at it. And oftentimes it's good to do this before a gathering or a feast or something commences, so we don't have resentment. We're able to walk in. This is where we learn persistence and self-discipline. This is where I don't need to be in a battle 24/7. If I don't want to be in the presence of this person, place, or thing, I don't have to. Now, if I'm going to be, how can I operate at my highest, noblest self? How can I communicate like a well-composed human and not get into any kind of thing? I feel like I feel the energy sometimes when I talk about Christmas. It could be anything, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, anything. We always have that one family member, that gathering or something, right, that sticks in our craw. We're like, oh, do I really have to see this person? We'll just call him Junior. Do I really have to see Junior and their irksome and bothersome pettiness, unaware personality? That person that talks over people or whatever it is. It's just like, let it go. Get in flow state. Be like, let Junior be Junior. If I don't get involved in that energy, I can free up my thought mind to focus on all the things that are beautiful and wonderful, and I can gravitate towards loving, wonderful, present people, right? And that is the truth. So do we position ourselves to feel like victimized? Do we position ourselves to feel like we are going to be restricted? Let's just break all those bonds and say the truth is, nobody can make us feel bad about ourselves unless we give them permission. Nobody can tell us what to do and navigate our life but ourselves the way that we need to feel free and clear, like through our eyes. But sometimes it takes a time to just be happy here for now, tending to this little slice of earth just for this moment. Be like, what does my body need? What does my mind need? For me, sometimes it's just something beautiful visually. So if I look at a great piece of art, I love the old Rococo, something beautiful. My favorite is definitely Vermeer. I look at Vermeers and I feel like, wow, I'm just transported. Something beautiful. That lots of nature pictures. I swear I love my TV does this thing. I don't know how Ian did this, but when it's on for more than a couple seconds, it goes almost onto the planet Earth thing. So you get these skyscapes, desertscapes, oceanscapes. So beautiful, so peaceful. I just sit quiet with a little cup of coffee when the morning's cold and look at these beautiful pictures. Commence my day, which brings us to vitality, health, and energy. And this is something, as you guys all know, sometimes it's so fleeting, like we can feel like, oh, I don't have another one cell in my body that can do anything else right now. When you just take that moment and breathe and you sit down and you give yourself permission to rest and you stop and you think of good things and you refuel in the right way, boom, that vitality comes back. Honest to goodness, if you would have told me right before I laid down that I was going to, after that little rest, feel completely filled with vitality, good, clear, my voice came back because I was even losing my voice. It was due to the fact that I said, I'm going to give myself rest so I can have this mini rebirth and feel good. And I felt like it came immediately back. But most importantly, you guys, in this season where we can overtax ourselves and feel shopping and obligated and do everything for everybody, oftentimes too, weirdly enough, we forget we have to deal sometimes with past trauma can come in around holidays, right? Because holidays is where big groups of people get together and we remember things. We remember flare-ups, remember difficulties as well as a good time. So to let go of all that and be like, pastures anew, like this is going to be what's going to be, but I'm going to have a healthy detachment to things and people's whatever. It could be gossip, it could be squabbling, just not going to do it. So you can watch out for your health and energy. Also, with the changing of weather, to really look out for yourself, wear the appropriate warm clothing. Here it's kind of like wet and cool. And eat good foods that help you, and stretch and exercise, so you ward off the stiffness, all of that. And I feel like when we say to ourselves aloud, because it so works, it really does, I feel strong, I have vitality, I feel healthy, I feel healing, I feel great, thank you universe, and I have gratitude. As soon as I voice those words, I feel like I'm breathing better. I feel like I have better circulation. Our brain gets on board and it's like, okay, let's do this thing. And weirdly enough too, it sort of watches out at that point because we've made that statement. Yes, you are filled with vitality and good health. So let's sustain this. Let's not reach for, all these additives and preservatives and extra salt and sugar. Let's reach for some grapes. Let's have, some chicken noodle soup. Let's have oatmeal. Let's have some things. Let's have things that digest well and make us feel good. Something that I used to always do to stop myself from overindulging in foods I knew weren't going to agree with me. Like I love a corned beef Reuben. Never felt good after it. Never once in my life. Never ever. So I asked myself, how will I feel 5 minutes from now after I eat this? 10 minutes? Would I be able to go for a really vigorous walk after I eat this within a half hour? If no, and it's unsettling, it's probably not going to be good for me, right? Because lighter, healthier fare, we're able to do a lot pretty much right after, right? So just ask yourselves that, because food is a huge component. It's like medicine for our body, where we can either poison it or we can give it the good stuff, right? Also, I love music this time of year. So let's imbue our day with happy music and dancing and feeling good, and just get those happy bubbles rising about, like, I don't know why I could listen to certain holiday music over and over, like Little Drummer Boy and things like that. I love that. So I'm getting excited for the holiday music. But I know it's probably starting. It's November 1st. It's probably going to start today. And then by the end of November, we're like all Christmas music'd out, right? Everybody tries to jump the gun and just like go. It's crazy. And then in December, it's all bathing suits and all the Christmas stuff is gone. I don't know what commerce is doing, or what's how stores are structured, but it's pretty bizarre. So again, ask yourself the truth of what you need to maintain vitality, health, and energy, and get ready for this beautiful, new, shiny, sparkling you, where you feel like, yeah, I can do this, and I'm not going to pressurize myself. I deserve to have breath and width and oxygen and care for myself. So I can commence my days with some normality and growth in my birds, and I'm not staying mad at anything, and in the fabric of all that we do, when we build joy and connection and love and rest into it, we change ourselves. We change ourselves in a beautiful way, and we're able to sustain more of this. But we do have to sometimes look into those intrinsic truths about ourselves and say, okay, I can rectify this. It's no big whoop. And then voila, we feel it. We feel the change, and we're proud of ourselves. And we've created that proof loop of, hey, if I set my mind to it, I certainly can. And that's a nice feeling. So my beauties, that is what you are meant to hear today. Thanks so much for tuning in and liking and subscribing. And thanks for your comments. You guys are the absolute best. Have a great day.